Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to grotty Salzburg. Grotty in terms of weather, not in terms of the city. It's actually quite a beautiful city, but the weather here is particularly horrible today, and that's great. That suits our needs because we're going to be doing a IFR flight with ATC in the gorgeous, beautiful A2A Simulations Comanche, which is hands down my favourite GA aircraft, and I'm going to be using this wonderful repaint by Ron Atwood. It's my favourite repaint, and this is the aircraft I tend to fly most of the time. And while I'm here talking about that, huge thank you to T. Rudd for sending me this rather nice logbook, which I'm going to start using for my adventures with Golf X-Ray Juliet here. So again, if you're watching, T. Rudd, thank you ever so much appreciated, my friend. So yeah, purpose of this flight is I've not flown IFR with ATC in poor weather for a long time, so this, if anything, is a check flight for myself. It's to see where my weaknesses are, and also to pressure me to the point where I'm making mistakes, so I learn where my weak points are in that respect as well. And trust me, there are some mistakes in this video, especially at the end. I absolutely mess up the ATC. So if you are of the type where you like to point out errors and that sort of thing, don't be too quick to leave that comment, because hopefully you'll see that I will have pointed it out as well. We're going to be using the TDS GTNxi 750. It's a wonderful piece of kit, and actually if you're using the WT G3X in some of the newer aircraft now, they've integrated into that. They've done a huge amount of work to get those two to work together. I don't really fly glass cockpit. I prefer the analog, so I'm going to be using the 750 here in the Comanche for this wonderful flight. I hope you do enjoy it. As I say, mistakes will be made, but that's how we learn. Let's get into the airplane and let's get flying. Okay, here we go, looking over at the flying balls over there. Bless them. I sure would love to get a go in some of the aircraft they've got there, that's for sure. Right, okay, so let's not mess around here. Let's get things going. Let's get rid of the cord there, so we've got a bit more room. Get the old tabletto out. Okay, so first of all we're going to do our walk around, which of course is very important because we're going to be all professional and all that. Something that I'm going to do to start off with is, let's just move that, just checking the parking brake is on, put the master switch on, we'll put the pitot on, and I'm going to put all our lights on. There we go, and then we can just jump outside and have a quick look at the lights just to check those. So let's start over here. There we go. Yep, that's all good. And then we will jump around here. And we're getting blinded, so that means that's working very nicely. Let's have a look under here. There we go. Look at that. I do love the lights in this. So realistic. Quick look around the front. That's all good. Where should we go now? Let's go here. Try not to get blinded too much again. There it is. That's probably a better view for doing that. Have a look over here. That's working nicely. Oh, it's just started raining again. Fantastic. Just what we need. Right, where's a good view for that one? Come here. There we go. Yep, that's operating very nicely. We'll nip round to the tail. I have to say, there we go. Both our tail lights are working nicely. Oh, let's just very quickly come round here, and before anyone says it, yes, I should have removed this to start off with because it would have melted it. And that's working nicely. There we go. Right, so we can jump back in. Come on. And then we can save the battery. We can turn everything off now. There we go. There will be someone saying, oh, you do realise you can turn the master switch on and then heat the pitot switch and then jump out and it will still be warm. Yes, I do that quite often, but when I'm doing a video, because I'm doing so much waffling, by the time I get round to the pitot heat, it's cooled down again, so that's the reason why I've done that. And actually got that tip from a real-world pilot who commented in a previous video when I was discussing the same subject. Right, so quick check. Brakes are on, fuel is on because we're going to need that. I'm going to drop the flap. This has got lovely mechanical flaps in it, so we don't need any servos to run or anything like that. Right, yep, that's a good... Oh, look at that. There we go. I said my brake was on, but my physical controller brake was on, but the brake in the Comanche wasn't on. Why is that? Because it's just so damn realistic. You really do have to keep your wits about you in the Comanche. Right, let's do the non-electrical walk around. So, yep, that's all good. Come over to the aileron. Feels nice and solid. Come here. You do have to be a little bit careful. Don't think I've got much in the tip tanks. This is ACISM, or ACISM version 2, or Merlin, and it will bite you on the arse very firmly if you're not careful. Things do go wrong, so that's why we check everything. First drum of the day. Love jubbly. Right, we've done that, we've had a look at that, but it's not cracked now that we're blinded by it. Have a look down here, we've got no tie downs, so that's all good. That's disconnected. Come here. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. There we go. Plenty of fuel in there. Might top up once we get inside. Come here. Right, remove the chock. That old trope chocks away. Now we're going to check the fuel sump. That's why I left the fuel cock on, because we need it on to be able to do this. To get another nutritious vitamin-enriched drink for aviators. There we go. Yeah, that's all good. Nom nom nom. Right, you've got to make sure you get that right at the bottom. Sometimes it does a little spring back up to the top again. Have a look at the front. We've got no birdies nesting in there. No tweets, and the propeller is looking rather splendid. Let's check the oil. Last time I had a look at this, it did look like at some point I might need to top it up soon, but I think there we go. That's okie doke. I vaguely remember something about not wanting to go below 9, so I might. Let's just have a wee look, because I've not had to do this yet. Oh, it's frustrating how that moves around. I do apologise for the... There we go. Let's just put a little bit in. I do apologise for the moving around. It's I am desperately trying to get used to using Toby instead of traditional eye tracking. There we go. That's all good. See how nice and clean it is as well. This is quite a low hours aircraft. Yeah, I'm trying to get used to using Toby, and I'll be completely honest with you. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And I don't have a switch set up. I wonder if I can... No, okay, we're going to have to come this way. Yeah, I'm desperately trying to like it and trying to get used to it. Right, just going to bear with me. There we go. Let's get back there. Let's go to the walk around, and we were there, weren't we? Is that view working yet? Yeah, desperately trying to get used to it, but I at this stage much prefer the view that I was getting from traditional eye tracking. The 6 degrees of freedom and all that seemed a lot better. This seems quite jittery. I have let's get rid of that chock. Quick look at that. I have thanks to Alpha from the live stream the other day. That's all good. We've already checked that. He gave me some really quite decent settings, which have vastly improved the experience that I'm having with it. But yeah, I'm still not entirely convinced, if I'm honest with you. And it's funny, it's one of those things that everybody said, oh, you got to get Toby eye tracking, it's amazing. But I don't know, because I'm so used to the old school eye tracking, which, despite the fact you had to wear something on your head, and despite the fact for me I had to have a blackout blind in place because otherwise the UV on a reasonably sunny day would interfere, it just worked so damn well, and it was so nice and precise. That's all good. Whereas I find the Toby is slipping around a lot, and if I turn the... That's nice and sturdy. If I turn the sensitivities down... so that it doesn't waft around, then it feels laggy and it doesn't feel quite right, so that's all good. I'm sure there is somewhere there are some magic settings, which is why... Oh, just nice and sturdy. And the... there we go. Ella... What's its name? It's got a funny name. That's all good. Yeah, I'm sure there's a magic sweet spot which I haven't quite found yet. We're not going to be taking any baggage. Whoever put this baggage on my wing, get it off immediately. Right, walk around complete. Back in here. That's all good. It's raining, so let's close the door. And this is a good example here with the eye tracker. With the traditional head tracking, I would have had no problem looking up there, but it's a real struggle with this. For some reason, it's just not picking up the head movement so much. I'm just going to try something. If I look down and then recenter it, I might be able to get to it. Come here! There we go. Yeah, it's a real pain in the neck, I have to say. If anybody is using Toby and has any other suggestions, I would love to know. Right, let's stop moaning about Toby eye tracking. So we've done the walk around, that's all good. Let's go to checklists. So pre-flight is complete. Passengers, that's you lot. Oh, let's just quickly check something. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good, that's all good, that's all good. Happy with that. Go back here. Seatbelts are secure, let's pretend. Control locks, I've removed the old boing boing rope. Parking brake is set. Gear switch is down. Flaps are now up, and because it's mechanical we don't have to wait. There we go. Radios are off. Autopilot master is off. Avionics master is off. All electrical switches are... Let's just check. There we go. Because that one always gets me because it's not quite so easy to spot. That's off, and circuit breakers are all in, and you do have to be careful because I have been caught out. That looks all good. It is a dim day today, that's for sure. Right, beg your pardon, rotating beacon on. Careful. Fuel selection desired tank, I'm going to leave it on both for the time being because that's working quite well for me. Mixture is rich. Propeller is fully forward. Carb heat is off. Master switch is on. You can hear the lovely rotating beacon there. Right, where did I get to? Throttle is cracked. Missed that bit. Master switch on, we've done that. Fuel pump is on. Check the fuel pressure. Just wait for that to come up. There we go, that's so good. And we have fuel pump off now. Let's have some strokes on the old primer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just for the hell of it. 5. Right, clear prop. That's the bit where my wife says, "What the hell is he doing now?" Let's go. There we go. Check all our T's and P's. Every start in the Comanche is different. It's so alive. It really is so alive. You never quite know how it's going to go, how it's going to sound. But that's all looking good. And let's lean the engine so that we don't foul the plugs. Not too much. There we go. Right, that's all good. Let's have some nav lights. There we go. That's clickety-clicked. Right. Bum. That's the engine start checklist complete. Taxi primer is locked. Avionics master on. all comes alive. Checking the ammeter, that's all looking good. Radio's coming on nicely. So we are going to be using ATC. Just going to clear that. Exit. I'm going to go to fuel and payload.
TDS system test OK.
Update the digital monitor. And we come back to here. So I'm going to be using ATC. Let's just concentrate a little bit high there on the old RPM as we warm up. Be gentle on your engine, boy. So, first things first, I'm going to load up the flight plan. If I lock this off here, yeah, do you know what, let's do this. Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of that bobbing around, so I'm just going to move the view like that. There we go. So, let's load up our flight plan. This, of course, is the TDS GTNxi 750. A wonderful, wonderful piece of kit. Absolutely love it. I often feel like I'm only really scratching the surface with it when I'm using it. It really is super duper. Ooh, that's interesting. Valid flight plan, waypoints locked. So what have we got locked? Let's have a look at that. That's interesting. Locked. Okay, well I can edit that. I wonder why it hasn't. Why it didn't like LOWS. That's very strange. Remove locked. Back. Let's go back. Let's get it back. Come on. Activate. Place code. Yes. I really am amazed that it didn't like LOWS. I wonder why. There must be something funny in translation there for some reason. So, looking at my trusty Navi charts or Navigraph charts, we are doing a bird to 8. Let's see if we can find that. What did I say? Bird 28, bird 2B, get your glasses on, sunshine. Runway 15 and transition is Verda, so that checked, so we'll load that departure in. And then while we're at it, we're going to be doing a Nanny 2 Alpha. Arrival, Nanny 2 Alpha, and our transition will be Nanit, and our runway is going to be, looking at the moment, it looks like a runway is going to be 08, so let's, okay, can't change that, that's absolutely fine. So we'll load the arrival and we are all good to go. Okay, right, happy with that. That's all good. Right, so now we are going to contact ATC. I am quite rusty. Whoa, 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 come back. There we go. I'll just touch the old thing there. How are we doing? Yeah, leave that there. Yeah, a little bit rusty with this. I've not used SayIntentions for a while, so we're just gonna see how it goes. Let me just reset that. There we go. Okay, so clearance is 121.75. ATIS is 133.33. So let's have a listen to ATIS. 133.33.
Initial contact, you have information X-ray. Salzburg Airport, information X-ray. 0850 Zulu. Wind 175 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, solid overcast at 5,000 feet. Temperature 12. Dew point 7. QNH 1016. Transition level 105. Arriving and departing runway 15. Visual approach is in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if basic information service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 121.75. Advise on initial contact you have information X-ray. Salzburg Airport, information X-ray. 0850 Zulu. Wind 175 at 6.
Okay, cool. Got that. Just going to jump over to clearance now. I should say at this point I am a bit of a rookie with this, so I'm going to make mistakes with my phraseology and all that sort of thing. So if you are, oh hello, we've got one of those wonderful wheelie performing bonanzas. I have got multiplayer on, I should say, so we might see some strange things. Someone actually complained in a previous video, why do you basically making the point that the skies in the airports are empty, and it's because of that sort of thing. It does kind of kill the immersion a little bit, but anyway, right, so clearance, we need to do that, don't we? Okay. Excuse me. Salzburg clearance, Golf Alpha Pepper. Okay, let's warm up the old windpipe first of all. Getting your peppers and your pippers and your pipers mixed up. Salzburg clearance, Golf Alpha Piper X-ray Juliet, with information X-ray ready to copy IFR clearance.
The Ver 2 Bravo departure, then as filed. Departure runway 15. Initial climb 6000. Departure on 123.725 squawk 2276. Golf X-ray Juliet, information X-rays. Current cleared to Innsbruck via the VRD2 Bravo departure, then is filed. Departure runway 15. Initial climb 6000. Departure on 123.725 squawk 2276.
Cleared to Innsbruck via the Verd 2 Bravo departure, then as filed. Departure runway 15. Initial climb 6,000 feet. Departure on 123.725 squawk 2276. Golf X-ray Juliet. Okay, let's
Golf X-ray Juliet, read back correct. Contact tower on 118.1.
Tower on 118.1, Golf X-ray Juliet. Okay, let's do a little bit of initial setting up. So what were we? We were squawk 2276. Come on, 276. On. Enter. So that's all good. We have banged in the QNH, so we've got that set up. So the initial climb is going to be 6,000 feet, and I'm just looking at my. Oh, I haven't got it up anymore. That kind of ties in with what I was seeing before, actually, so that's okay. Kind of feel like I'm missing something, but that is everything set up now, isn't it? In terms of the ATC. So tower is going to be 118.1. Okay. So we're now on tower frequency, but I just want to check through here. So we've done the radios, altimeter we've set, heading indicator we set. We need to check that because it does tend to move around a little bit. So let's. No, there we go. Bum bum bum. Come on. Could quite spin the mouse wheel quick enough. That's a good. Okay. Landing gear lamp is green. Excellent. Nav lights, we have those on. Haven't got the strobe light on yet. We're going to put the pitot heat on now as well. That's a good, that's a good, that's a good. Okay, quick look around. Happy with that. Give a bit of that. Give a bit of heat. If we look over here, no, it's not that one, it's that one, but with a different thing on it. Right, so let's see, I think he's going to take us down that way, so we're now going to have a look, and what I will do, one of the wonderful things about the TDS GTN is that it's now got Navigraph integration. So if I go back to here, charts, and see if we've got it here. Sorry, I've got my cat has just decided to make an appearance, so there we go. So now we've got a nice view of, and we're parked over here, so that's all our parking stands. And what else have we got? We don't want that. I'm actually looking for, let's come out of there. Airport info, no, go back, there we go. Right, tower. Salzburg Tower, Golf Alpha Papa X-Ray Juliet, request taxi to runway 15.
Golf X-Ray Juliet, taxi to runway 15 via Golf Lima Bravo.
Taxi to runway 15 via Golf Lima Bravo, Golf X-Ray Juliet. So that's worked out nicely. Golf Lima Bravo, excellent. That's all working nicely together. That is rather cool. So we need to scoot out there. I'm just getting my bearings. I normally actually fly from over by the Flying Bulls, so it's unusual being over here. Right, let's just reset that. Okay, parking brake is off. Brakes are working fine. That's all good. I'm going to hide you for the time being, and let's on y va. Go. This is such a lovely aeroplane. Even in rubbish weather, it's just so atmospheric, so lifelike. Most of the videos, in fact probably almost all my videos, I tend to do or tend to use nice weather because you know, I'm trying to show nice scenery, but this is a different kind of flight. This is obviously a purposefully grotty IFR flight. This is real live weather as well, I should say. So I haven't orchestrated this. This is what it's like in Salzburg right now. Right, quick look at everything. Everything's looking good. Wind isn't too much of a problem today, which is good. We're probably not going to see a lot in the way of scenery, which is a bit of a shame because one of the reasons I originally planned to come to this neck of the woods is because the scenery is just so incredibly beautiful. But we can live with that. And Salzburg is such a beautiful city to fly over. The castles and everything. It's quite something. Right, so we are coming up to the holding point now, but I need to do a quick run up, so I'm just going to tootle over here. There's no one behind us. I'm sure ATC won't mind too much. Cosway is just being professional, isn't it? Let's weak it round into the wind. There we go. Okay, let's get the old checklist back up again. Run up. I get the damn click spot. Right, into wind. We are into wind. Brakes, I'm holding the brakes. Fuel quantity, check. Fuel quantity is good. Mixture, as required for the run up, I will whack it all the way forward. Throttle 2000 RPM. Checking the instruments. T's and P's, all good. Happy with that. Vacuum, all the good stuff. Yep, excellent. Right, let's do a quick mag check, which is going to be damn difficult with this Toby. What if I... No, that's not going to help. So... looks good. It's hard enough using the mouse wheel to check the mags without the head bobbing around. Right, cycle prop. And now we'll reduce when we come back up again. Reduce to 1800. Not too far. Get it spot on, boy. There we go. And it's holding. So the prop governor's working all nicely. Now we check the carb heat. Yeah, we can see a drop in RPM, so that's working fine. All is good. Okay, let's come back down. Let's calm everything down. Right, controls free and correct. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the luxury of being able to see the back with this, so yeah, that's all good. Doors are latched, yeah. Flaps are up, not going to worry about that. Fuel is on both. Fuel pump can now go back on again. Mixture is full rich. Prop is fully forward. Carb heat is off. Engine gauges are good. Everything's nice and warm and ready to go and snuggly. Pitot heat I have on. Strobes are now going on, as are landing lights. That is on. I'm going to quickly turn the lights up in the instrument lights because it's so murky while we remember. And that is good to go. Takeoff. Have a quick look at that. Throttle fully open. Blah 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 blah. Excuse me. Let's close that. Okay. So let's turn it back onto course. Lighting in this is lovely. That's landing light. Okay, let's come up to the holding point. There we go. So, boom, boom, boom. Departure was 123.725. 123.725. No, didn't mean to do that. That was force of habit. There we go. So we've got departure all set up, ready to go when we need to. Quick look again, and everything's looking good. Happy with that. Okay. Salzburg Tower, holding runway 15, ready for departure. Golf X-ray Juliet. Sorry, co-pilot cat just decided to start walking across the keyboard.
Golf X-ray Juliet, runway 15, winds 175 at 6, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 15, winds 175 at 6, cleared for takeoff, Golf X-ray Juliet. Okay, quick look, because I have got multiplayer on, and of course they're not working in accordance with ATC. Don't want to ruin someone's day if they've just spent hours flying here and then suddenly this twerp in a Comanche pulls up. Nicely does it. Big, huge runway, so we got plenty of space on the brakes. Going to do a couple of things. Just notice that that is in. So I'm going to put it out, and then I am going to just have a quick look. That's all set up, isn't it? Yes. That's all set up nicely, and is that all set up nicely on my Navigraph charts? Now, some of you might have noticed that the view has changed slightly. Well, that's why, because I went to take off, and there was someone spawned on the other end of the runway in the wrong direction for the live weather. My fault. I should only have live weather set up as multiplayer, so there is a way of getting around that. But I quickly pulled away just in case it gave him the opportunity to take off, and he didn't. He just sat there. So I thought I'll get onto the runway and wait for him to go, and he has done. Right, so let's try again. Ready to climb. Gear up. Someone else has just spawned on the runway. I guess the thing with Salzburg is it's a very busy airport. Big rocky thing. Engine T's and P's are good. Wind is
Golf X-ray Juliet, contact departure on 123.725.
Contact departure on 123.725. Golf X-ray Juliet. So this is where it starts to get a little bit busier. Wrong one. Try that. Salzburg departure. This is Golf Alpha Papa X-ray Juliet on the Verd 2 Bravo departure, climbing to 6,000 feet.
Golf Alpha Papa X-ray Juliet, Salzburg radar, identified. Cleared direct Verde, climb 6,000.
Cleared direct Verde, climb 6,000. Golf X-ray Juliet. Okay, interesting. So let's try to fly and also look at my map at the same time. So they've cleared us direct to Verde. So we don't have to do this departure, or do we? Interesting conundrum here. My real world pilots in the chat, we're not live, in the comments, my understanding is now that the controller is cleared as direct to Verde, as he called it, that means that I wouldn't fly the rest of this departure. I would literally head straight to Verde. I would like to know if that is your understanding of it as well. I feel a little bit nervous coming off the star, purely because I want to get altitude or height, if we're going to start being exact. Look at Salzburg down there, amazing, so damn realistic. But do you know what, I'm going to go with my gut. He has cleared us direct to Verde, so I'm going to, if I can get this damn thing to stay. Okay. Just keeping an eye on the altitude. Just going to lean a little bit. We are at 6,000 feet. Which, with the mountains ahead, does not feel good. I will be completely honest with you. I'm amazed that the GPS isn't going off, but I'm going to trust with ATC for the time being. I'm back on the LPM now that we're in cruise. Yeah, I mean, you can see the mountain right ahead. Request climb to 8,000 feet, Golf X-Ray Juliet.
X-Ray Juliet, climb altitude 8,000 feet.
Now that we're near the mountains, we're getting blown around a little bit more. Let's concentrate on things. Definitely a test of my IFR flying, which is woefully out of practice in this little bird. Makes you realise I do a lot of IFR flying in the King Air, and a lot of that is on autopilot. So suddenly, when you actually have to do it for, you know, hand fly IFR in poor weather like this, you suddenly realise how poor your skills are. But that really is what a flight like this is all about. Do it for a reason. Looks like it's thinning out a bit up here. Now the bottom height on the star at the base height, I guess you'd call it, is 10,000 feet. So interesting that we've not been given any higher, but that's okay. Absolutely nothing to see out there. trim a little bit more. Just trying to intercept the intended course. Oh, steady on, don't bust your altitude. Right, so we're at 8,000 feet, and what can I see ahead? Mountains. Interesting, the GTM will give you TORS warning, but we've not had anything, so let's see. Let's see what happens. Trim us out a little bit just to help maintain altitude. Trim is your friend and all that. And then once I've done that, I can turn the landing lights off, but I'm just wanting to get that nicely set up. Nicely trimmed out. We can see some ground. Look at that, mountains. Honestly, the scenery around here, if you've not flown it, it's just absolutely stunning, and it's almost criminal that we can't see it today, but this is meant to be a realistic IFR flight. Just need to lose a couple of 100 feet there. Naughty boy, messing around yakking instead of concentrating on the flying. That's what happens. Done it again. Right, let's come on. Concentrate. Angry flying instructor appears. Look at your instruments, boy. So we've got some big old mountains over there. I feel that, oh look at that, you can just see it through the murk, but on a sunny day, wow, getting blown about quite a bit now, bouncing around. Do not fear, little Comanche. So, in the comments below, what are you flying at the moment? What are you really enjoying? It's always great to hear what people are up to. I've been trying to do more warbird flying, because at the end of the day that's what the channel is about. Also keeping on top of the helicopters as well. If you didn't catch it, I did a live stream last weekend. I do live streams every now and again. I'm going to be doing a bit more of that. Mainly helicopters, doing the HEM stuff. Request climb to 10,000 feet, Golf X-Ray Juliet.
Golf X-Ray Juliet. Climb altitude 10,000 feet.
Lean us out a bit. button. Alright, leave it out. That is not what you want to bump into. Oh, I know what's happening. And I'd love to show you. There we go, see the manifold pressure coming up, picking up some carb icing there. So we're going to leave that on. There will no doubt be some experts in the who've been watching the video who will have already left a comment saying turn your carb heat on. Hopefully, quite often in my videos, because I'm very honest about my mistakes, hopefully if you spot me making an error, at some point hopefully I do pick up on it and I do correct it. Otherwise I'm not learning anything, which is pretty pointless. Right, just scanning my instruments, just making sure everything is good. Bumpy rocky stuff there. This is why the star gets you to 10,000 feet, of course. So my I'm interested that the ATC cleared me direct to Verde, as they think they called it, but didn't give me any climbing instructions. They told me to climb to 6,000 feet, but then didn't give me any further climb instructions. So I think I am meant to assume that I carry on climbing to 10,000 feet, which is what perhaps I should have done instead of asking them to climb. But I don't know. Again, real world pilots or pros at this sort of thing, please do comment below. Let me know what you think. Right, we're at 10,000 now, so let's come back down there. Bring it round, bust it a little bit, so let's come back down. Don't think we're going to be going any higher than this, so we haven't passed transition yet. They say, was it 105 or something like that? So I'm staying on QNH. Getting a little bit good God, look at that. You really get a sense of the height of these mountains looking at that peak there and then looking down into the valley. My lord, I've come to the wrong place to focus on my flying, haven't I, really, because I'm going to be spending all the time saying, my lord, look at that, isn't it beautiful, instead of flying. Right, just turning back. Trying to get us back on course. You're climbing again. Just trimming now. A whole different thing. Whole different thing flying this kind of flying on instruments. And look at that. I mean, good God. 500 feet I've climbed while I've been concentrating on other things. That's how easily done it is. I was so focused on trying to trim, I hadn't realised we'd climbed 500 feet. Meanwhile, the controller is saying, what the hell is he doing? So let's lose that height. still got the carpet on. The Comanche is very susceptible to carb icing. Now I can see a mountain ahead. But we're not being given any climb instructions.
Expect the non-2 Alpha arrival for the R9 runway 16 to Innsbruck via R2. I am at the descent in 20 minutes. Let me know if you want to descend sooner.
Expect the Nanny 2 Alpha arrival for the RNAV-E runway 26 into Innsbruck via RTT Golf Alpha Papa X-Ray Juliet. Sorry, that came through broken from the other end. Now that's definitely a nasty mountain ahead. We don't have oxygen. I can't remember if this simulates hypoxia, but that is not good. So it's hopping us. Let's have a look over here actually. So we just really need to hop over the top of this. And interesting, Salzburg radar has changed to Vienna radar on my SayIntentions without me changing anything. Request climb to 11,000 feet, Golf X-Ray Juliet. Climb to 11,000 feet, Golf X-Ray Juliet. It's interesting how it's simulating the radio degradation. I'm not sure if it's due to distance or weather or the mountains, but it's interesting it simulates it. Right, everyone hold your breath. I'm sure there will be some of you who are thinking it was a bit silly to use this aircraft in this kind of terrain. We're not pressurised, we haven't got oxygen and all that kind of stuff. Really you'd want something that could perhaps go a bit higher. And you might be right. But I wanted to kind of test myself doing some IFR flying in this aeroplane, and I think that's what it is. Interesting that I'm not getting told by ATC. I'm not being given any kind of you know, we're not on the star now, we're en route, and I'm not being given any climb instructions. I'm having to ask for it. Now that might be because of the type of aircraft we're in. That is just so beautiful. Right, we're at 11,000 now. Let's chop that off. Suddenly gone very dark. Let's get back on course. So what I'm going to do now I'm going to, let's have a bit of help from the autopilot. Let that warm up. So I'm going to put it onto high track. So it's going to track the GPS now. And then I'm just going to lose the height. Just to get us back to... There we go. And we will hold that. Give it some down trim. It's telling me what to do here. We've got trim, there we go, a bit more down trim, it's saying. There we go. I can reach over and have a sip of tea, my lord. Right, quick look at the instruments. So let me show you this. Bum, bum, bum. If you don't, if you've not seen it. Engine analyzer, there we go. Excuse me a moment. Apologies for the coughing, I have a bit of a cough at the moment. There we go, just easing off a little bit. Leaning a tad. Right, so let me turn off the carpet and watch that there. So where we've got the there you go. Hang on, I think that's more because I probably leaned it a bit too much. Okay, it's not building up. I was expecting it to suddenly start building up with ice, but I'm going to keep that open and then you can see it. Maybe it's still warm, so it's not allowing it to do it. But yeah, the weather is absolutely stinky. Well, would you look at that? Threading through the cloud, and we've got that beautiful scenery ahead. My lord. Gorgeous. Right, let's just do a couple of things. So there we are. I'm going to close that down now. I've just been quickly taking some screenshots, and you can see the weather's cleared quite nicely now. Look at that. It makes me even more excited to see what Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is going to be like when you have scenery that is as beautiful as that. And looking at some of the early screenshots for 2024, it's even better. It's going to be stunning. Right, so I'm just looking over at my charts, because we are not far off commencing our arrival. So go back there. Arrivals. And what are we? Just double checking with the Nanitz 2 Alpha. that. So just checking we got the right one. There we go. Starting off, it says you should be above 15,000 feet. Well, we're not. We're in our little Comanche, so we will just stay there. Just having a good look at that. Isn't that scenery just so gorgeous? Interested to see at what point now ATC starts talking to us. And telling us what to do. We're low for the entry point into the star. I just realised when we took off from Innsbruck, and I'm sure people have already put a lot of comments in, I was talking about stars. It wasn't a star, it was a SID. You're talking about stars. What a plonker. That's what happens when you're concentrating on making a video and doing flying like this. I'd be interested to see how many people. It always makes me laugh how someone will put a comment pointing out that you've made a mistake, and then lots of other people will jump in as making comments pointing out that you've made the same mistake. And I've never quite understood the thought behind that. If someone else has already pointed out the mistake, why would you then point it out as well? Unless you're just trying to show off your own knowledge, maybe. I don't know. Maybe sometimes people are just a little bit too eager to jump in comments and point out mistakes. Perhaps. Don't know. So, how are we looking? Everything's fine there. T's and P's are good. I haven't used the engine management instrument there to do the leading. I've just been doing it off looking at the EGT and the feel of it. We're clear of visible moisture, so I don't need to worry about carb icing. We are now actually, the aircraft is now turning us onto the star, but we haven't been cleared onto the star yet. So this is going to be interesting. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to wait and see what ATC does now. If I look over at my SayIntentions.AI instrument, I can see that it's following me. Now that's interesting. Yeah, it's IFR mode. That's all good. It's an IFR flight. Okay, we'll see. See what it does. Right, quick look down here. So we want to be, what's that? Let's say 9,500 feet at that point. Yeah, it is. So he's not giving us any descent instructions. Request descent to 9,500 feet. Golf X-ray Juliet. Okay, he just said descend 9,500 feet, Golf X-ray Juliet. So let's just come off that. Come on. There we go. I think that got it. have a nice slow descent. So I'm going to put the landing lights on at this point. Quick look at the checklist. Approach. Okay. Don't need to do anything there just yet. Just watching that. We're descending. Thought of another mistake I'd made then. I'm just trying to remember what it was. It was when I oh yeah, it was right at the start. You may remember when we got the clearance, it was already reading out a clearance. That was because it was responding to my initial call, which was a mistake. And although I haven't got student pilot mode on or whatever it is, I think they felt sorry for me, so they'd actually already started giving me a clearance. And then I when I did the proper call, of course it gave me the clearance again. But hopefully the astute amongst you will have noticed that. Interesting that I'm still not getting any. I've not been cleared onto this approach, or have I? Have I? Have I? No, they said expect. And then okay. Well, we're on the arrival. We haven't been cleared for it yet, but to hell with it. I'm going to exercise my my noggin, and we're going to continue. Now, what would be really handy now would be the ATIS frequency for Innsbruck.
Golf X-ray Juliet. Contact Innsbruck radar on 128.975.
Excellent. Contact Innsbruck radar on 128.975 Golf X-ray Juliet. Right, that's rather handy. I'm gonna if I'm gonna stick with Toby, I'm gonna have to set up some views for doing this sort of thing. I try not to use them because I think it breaks immersion a bit if you suddenly jump to a view, but I'm gonna have to do it. Right. Innsbruck radar, Golf Alpha Papa X-ray Juliet on the Nanny 2 Alpha arrival, descending to 9,500 feet. Actually gone past 9,500 feet. You're going to get told off.
Golf Alpha Papa X-ray Juliet. Innsbruck radar identified. Good afternoon, Kufstein. QNH 1017.
QNH 1017, Golf X-ray Juliet. Right, let's just change that. There we go, just toot that up a bit. Get back to 9,500 feet. Let's have all autopilot off now. Out of there. Let's go back to the map. Stay there. We've got the correct QNH. Just watching the speed. A little bit slow. Wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. This is a good time to confess to my passengers, who presumably have signed the insurance waiver. I've not done an ILS approach into Innsbruck before. I know, right? Amazing. I've flown into Innsbruck a few times in Warbirds, but I've never done an ILS approach. It may come as a shock to you, but I tend not to do a lot of this kind of flying. But anyway, we are going to be absolutely fine. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. Now I need to very quickly remember what the approach was. It was the RNAV runway 26. RNAV 26. There we go. Suddenly realised this is where you wish you'd done things earlier. Should have set that up a lot earlier so I wasn't doing it right at the last minute. So let's see what we're doing here. There we go. So that has now kicked in. And what are we descending to? 5750. Are on, so good. Forgive me if I don't talk much while I'm doing this, because I do need to have a slight semblance of professionalism by concentrating on what I'm doing. God, the scenery is just beautiful, isn't it? I'm so glad that it's cleared a bit towards the end. Say 5750. Having a look around, getting blown around a bit. T's and P's are good, fuel is good. Just keeping an eye on the mixture. Lean we're running. The arrival brought us quite a bit further into the approach, so I'm just coming back over here just to gently merge with the approach, whilst keeping an eye on those dodgy mountains. Keeping an eye on the speed. Look around. I'm going to put the fuel pump on at this point. It's funny, I always find when I'm making videos like this that I'm just thinking back to that saying that it was a star when I left Salzburg. How it's amazing when you're concentrating on making a video, thinking about how that's got to go and all the other things that you're doing, the stupid things that you can say. Right, I don't really want to bump into these mountains here, so I'm going to be careful with my descent. I'm just going to bring us over the top here. Ah, now that's interesting.
Terrain ahead.
Yes, I can see it.
Terrain ahead.
Looks
Terrain
hard,
ahead.
All right, love, don't worry. We're avoiding the train.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
It's interesting on
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
on Navigraph charts.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
I am to
Pull
the
up.
left of the track that I should be on.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
And on the GTN I'm to the right of it. I wonder if maybe I've got a slightly different approach set up. We'll see. Right, let's get the height. There we go. So what's that? RNAV Z runway 26. Quick check. What did they say? They said RNAV E runway 26. That's why my Navigraph charts are slightly different. Sorry, looking at my charts. Okay, that's not gonna. Let's concentrate on flying. Let's concentrate on flying and trust the aeroplane. Trim it out. Alpha. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen again. Okay, so we're there. That's interesting. I must have. I can only imagine I've got a Navigraph. I haven't updated something correctly, although I'm not getting anything displaying on my Navigraph charts that's wrong. I don't seem to have an alpha. So I was no, it was echo. Expect the arrival for RNAV E runway 26. RNAV E, not got RNAV E, got RNAV Z. Oh, RNAV E, there it is. There it is. Okay. Okay. Let's see what procedure we've got in here. RNAV E, so that's, was it RNAV E? Double check, oh, yep, so it was RNAV E. So the GTN is correct, and I had set the wrong thing in the, my charts. Well, that's fine. That's fine. So, just looking at heights, what am I coming down to? I've dropped, in all that faffing about looking at maps.
Golf X-Ray Juliet, cleared for the Nani 2 Alpha arrival, for the RNAV E runway 26 into Innsbruck, via RTT.
Cleared for the Nani 2 Alpha arrival for the RNAV E runway 26 into Innsbruck via RTT, Golf X-Ray Juliet. Well, it's a little bit late, mate, because I've already done the arrival. That's interesting that that came in so late. So, what are we going to do? So, we're literally just going to come in there. Okay. I like. Still a little bit low. But at this point, yeah, at this point we should be descending. Oh, we're coming up to the point we start descending up here. Sorry, I know it must be frustrating for you. I'm talking to you, and then I'm looking at, I'm looking around the, looking at other things. looking at my charts screen, which of course you can't see. How rude of me not sharing it with you. Okay, so just watching my HSI now. We start our descent. Having a good look. Rather high. Speed's good, so let's drop the gear. Speed. There we go. Now that the gear's down and the gear horn's not going to go off, we can fiddle about with that a bit. Interesting, and this is probably more my me not really knowing what I'm doing. I can see I'm getting a glide slope information on the HSI, but I'm not getting any lateral input. There is something there, but it not giving us. That's the wrong thing there. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's give a little bit of flappage. So quick look down, we've got everything on, that's so good. Fuel pump is on, landing lights are on. Part of me is thinking, fly the instrument and see where it takes you. So we've got enough time to do that. So it could be offset, and it kind of makes sense that if it is offset because of the mountains, of course, and the terrain. So I am going to assume that it's offset, and we can see that we're starting to intercept now. We're intercepting it on the GTN as well. So it goes to show sometimes trust in the technology, trust in the instruments. This is obviously an offset. Had I reviewed the documentation before flying thoroughly, as a pilot should do, of course, I would have known that. Piss poor preparation prevents perfect whatnotting. I know I've got that wrong. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. There's all sorts of permutations of it. So we see we've still got that offset there. I'm fighting the urge to my eyes are telling me, looking at the runway, my eyes are telling me to go left. My instruments are telling me to I should still be right. So let's follow the instruments. We're doing IFR. We should be doing this properly. Telling myself off now. Trim, trim, trim. Prop 40 forward. Mixture rich. I've done that. At this altitude, I might just leave a bit of lean it out a little bit. We're blooming high. The air is thin. Still need to come right a bit. And we're a little bit high. What am I doing it's left a bit. Really am. I'm getting confused. It's left a bit, it's not right a bit. Why this is exactly what I'm talking about. You suddenly lose your marbles. So out of practice doing this that even the simplest things like that, look at my height, even the simplest things absolutely cock it up. All those experts will be guffawing now. Oh good God, look at him, look at him. The good thing about doing flights like this though is that it is a great way to remind yourself just how crap you are and where you need to work on. So that's why I do them. I've not done this sort of thing for a while, so it's good to give yourself a bit of a shake up. Right, all's good. I'm now just looking at the runway. I'm not looking at the instruments anymore. Trying to lose some height. Not had runway. We're not had clearance to land yet. The ATC seems to be a little bit behind. Oh, maybe I should have called established.
500.
Established finals runway 26, Golf X-Ray Juliet. That's like running a whole load of messages into one there. He's going to say contact tower.
Golf X-Ray Juliet, cleared for the RNAV E approach, runway 26.
Cleared for the RNAV E approach, runway 26, Golf X-Ray Juliet. Golf X-Ray Juliet finals, runway 26. Come on, it's too late to transfer me to tower. Look, and there's someone landing the other way. That's what happens when you have multiplayer on.
Golf X-Ray Juliet, contact Innsbruck Tower on 120.1.
So that was entirely my fault, and what I'm going to do now is quickly get off the runway so that this guy can land. It's the handy thing of having a little thing like this. So what did I do wrong there? I forgot to call established on the approach, which meant that it knocked the sequence out. So all that, everything that just happened is entirely my fault. I've only myself to blame. And again, it's a good way of remembering where you're making mistakes. I'll say it again. This, in no means am I an expert, and the whole point of me doing a flight like this is to hit myself over the head with a stick and make mistakes, and then next time hopefully we'll remember not to do the same thing again. And it also shows that I need to be doing a lot more of this sort of stuff to keep in practice for sure. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the flight. I hope you've enjoyed the mistakes. Sometimes it's quite entertaining for people. It's been an absolute blast having you on board as always. And I look forward to seeing you on the channel again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.